A woman lies unconscious on a rough concrete floor. Her finger is bleeding, her shoes are covered in dried blood, but surprisingly, she doesn't seem to have any major injuries. Suddenly, the loud crashing of waves echoes all around her, a deep roaring sound that fills the air. The noise rings in her ears, jolting her awake. As she blinks, all she sees is concrete. Confused, she shifts slightly to realize she's in the worst possible situation. She's trapped on the edge of a curved structure, high above a dark abyss. One wrong move, and she'll fall straight into nothingness. Her left leg is awkwardly bent under her body, making it impossible to move freely. Panic sets in. Instinctively, she tries to push herself back, but the moment she moves, she slides down even further. She barely manages to stop herself from falling completely, but it's clear she's running out of time. The movement causes sharp pain in her leg, and her scraped palms sting against the rough concrete. Her breathing quickens as she silently prays for a way out. She takes a moment to take in her surroundings. The place looks like a massive hydroelectric power plant. Even if she can move away from the edge, there's a towering wall behind her blocking any real escape. But right now, that's the least of her problems. Out of nowhere, a deep horn bellows from the darkness below. The sound rattles her, making the fear even worse. She tries to rationalize it, maybe it's just the wind? That thought calms her down for a second, but then another, even louder roar shakes the air. Frustrated, she tilts her head back and lets out a scream. A few minutes pass. Everything goes dead silent. All she can hear now is her own ragged breathing and the desperate thoughts racing through her mind. She knows staying still will only delay the inevitable, but moving could end it all instantly. Still, she has to try. Taking deep breaths to steady herself, she carefully places her hands and her right foot against the concrete, trying to turn her body. The second she moves, she slides even further. Now, she's teetering at the very edge. She freezes, trying to stay calm. Then, she realizes something: she can't waste energy trying to straighten her leg. Her only real chance is to pull herself up exactly as she is. The problem? She's already exhausted, her strength drained. Her palms are torn and bleeding, but she forces herself to keep going. She raises her right hand, wincing as she separates two fingers stuck together with blood. Then, she wipes her palm on her jacket, trying to dry it enough to get a better grip. Even that small action sends waves of pain through her, but she endures it. She blows gently on her wounds, hoping for just a little relief. After gathering every ounce of strength she has left, she pushes against the concrete. Her body arches painfully as she tries to lift herself. And it works. She gains a few centimeters. It's barely anything, but it's progress. A shaky sigh escapes her lips. She takes another breath and keeps going, ignoring the throbbing in her hands. But then, something shifts. Her vision blurs. She stares down at the bloodstains on the concrete, but something's off. She doesn't see her body in her own reflection. A fresh wave of panic crashes over her. She checks her hands, then looks back down. The stains seem to stretch, growing longer. She starts hyperventilating. She's further from the edge now, but her mind is unraveling. Desperation takes over. She makes a split-second decision and tries to climb higher, but the moment she moves, she slides again. Her heart pounds. She glances at the bloodstains. There are more now. It's like they're multiplying. Her breathing turns shallow. She knows she has only two choices: stay here and wait for death, or move and fall faster. Her mind whispers to her, "Keep going, you'll make it." It's a lie, but she clings to it. She lifts her palm, blows on it, and braces herself. The second she pushes up, she slides again just a few centimeters, but it's enough to feel like a defeat. Her panic grows, twisting into something unbearable. She looks down once more, and the stains are larger than ever. Then, a screech cuts through the silence. It's a sound unlike anything she's ever heard. She shudders, comparing it to death itself calling her from the abyss. Her hands are ruined, skin scraped down to raw flesh. The sky rumbles, mocking her struggle. Then it starts raining. At first, the cool drops feel almost comforting. For a moment, it's as if she belongs here, as if she's always been trapped on this curve, as if it's her home. But that peace shatters when the rain slicks the surface, making it even more dangerous. Her body starts to slip, her eyes squeeze shut, her teeth clench. Still clinging to life, she lets out a desperate scream. But her voice is nothing against the roaring storm. Then she remembers her necklace, a chain. Maybe, just maybe, it can buy her more time. She rips it from her neck, quickly looping it around her wrist, using it as a grip against the slippery surface. Her fingers tighten, she hangs on, but her hand begins to slide. We don't see what happens next. All we know is given her situation, we can guess the outcome. Unlike most horror films that rely on cheap jump scares, Curve pulls you in, making you feel every second of terror with the character. It preys on primal human fear losing control, slipping into the unknown. It's a nightmare brought to life, forcing you to face a fear you might not have even realized you had. That's it for today's recap. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.